Team Liquid's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Oracle.
Team Liquid will face mudgolems here in the series that is the lower bracket deciding series. Which team is making it to the grand finals and which team get left behind on third place? We're going to find out. We are in the draft. I'm here with Cinder and Kyle. What is up, Kyle?
I'm just saying, you're not liking the band analogy,
remaining.
but Boxy's rocking those headphones like a DJ. Just throwing that out there.
I also know that Team Liquid has got a fantastic... What is it called? Not the Guitar Hero, but the band. Rock Band? Is it actually called Rock Band?
They're addicts.
They are absolute addicts. I am not even kidding. They are
Radiant team
absolute addicts.
I love the team, by the way, just because in many ways, Dota teams operate like businesses. Team Liquid are like actually friends. Like they're a good group of guys. They like spending time together, and it's nice. You know, it'd be cool to experience that.
Well, they miss a singer, I've been told, in their Rock Band
10
composition.
seconds remaining.
Let's gonna hit the high notes.
Team Liquid's turn.
No, I think he's a guitarist. I think it's Boxy on the drums because he actually used to be a drummer.
Really?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think it's it's Boxy on the drums, guaranteed.
What does Koikva play?
I think Koikva is also good. I think everybody that's not on the drums is a guitar.
Oh, I thought he's probably just in the gym while the others play.
Oh, there's definitely a chance of that as well. There are also two different guitars because you can either be the bass or whatever lead. I have no idea, guys. I've only played it when I was the drums. I don't know how to play the guitar, so I only paid attention to the
10
drums.
seconds
And then
remaining.
when someone else did the drums, I was seeing. Let's take a look at the draft, by the way. I really would like to talk about some Dota here because we do have Lone Druid banned again against Team Liquid. And we have an opening of, a Timber Saw there second. And Oracle gets stolen away by Mudgolems.
I think that's an excellent pick here. You don't give that to Insania after watching how Liquid used it in the previous series.
10 seconds
Although it is not really a fodder hero.
Radiant
He's
team back.
much more comfortable, I think, on stuff that used to be core. He's always playing like the Jakiros. I saw him play, was it Snapfire the other day? Like, it just feels like something without wave clear is still not something he's super comfortable with.
It's definitely one of his strengths is macro because he has played high level core.
Yeah.
So if he's playing a hero that can use macro, he will be very good at understanding, okay, here's where I can sneak in a wave, or here is where I should be pressuring the map. But I have seen Fata play Oracle before, and I think he's pretty good. It's probably not as good as Insania's because there's very few that are.
5 seconds
But Fata
remaining.
is definitely very solid
Radiant
on the
team
save
back.
heroes that he has played in the past as support. So I'm not too worried about his individual performance here. I'm a little bit more uncertain about the opening of Oracle plus Lifestealer. I don't know how sold I am on this concept in general, just because Oracle wants to save somebody, and that save needs to carry with
10
it some sort of
seconds
massive
remaining.
teamfight impact. And to me, Lifestealer, a lot of the time, doesn't need
5
that save.
seconds remaining.
And then if he
Liquid's
actually
turn
gets
to
it,
ban.
then he can still he still has the same inherent problems in the fact that he can get kited or...
You're typically not getting burst down, you're getting kited.
Yes.
If you're playing Slark, if you're a Morphling, then the save makes sense because that little bit of a window to get your spells off, you're now
10
full HP.
seconds
But
remaining.
Lifestealer, it's more of a durable hero, and now that there's a Timber Saw on the other side, you expect
5
there's going to be more
seconds
tools to
remaining.
either sustain through the Lifestealer damage or just cut away from him. And I like the Timber just because it sort of takes the power in the draft. It's now up to Mudgolems to make sure they can answer the Timber Saw, and it's certainly earlier than we typically see it in the tournament, but we'll see. I mean, OD's been getting banned. We haven't seen it yet, but that's something you got to be keeping an eye on. I really do like that with an Oracle. Having double save mechanics is super strong when you're running this as your 5.
And what I really like is the Earth Spirit. I'm not really a big Earth Spirit fan, but I know for Team Liquid, one of the problems that we see is normally that they're a little bit slow getting started. Taiga on Earth Spirit will make sure that very early on he'll make those rotations and he'll help out Quickfire if needed. He's on every lane where needed on his Earth Spirit, and I think that is exactly what they need in an opening game like this.
5 seconds remaining.
On top of that, I feel like Liquid yesterday were really, really good at counterplays, and Earth Spirit is an amazing counterplay hero. It's one of those heroes where it's super rewarding if you're in the right place at the right time. Come out of the tree line, there's a roll, you don't see it coming, somebody gets stunned, the silence into slow. And it's also a hero that I would say it's kind of confidence driven, you know, because rolling is a hit or miss spell.
Yes.
Like if you're not feeling confident in the moment and you roll in and you miss it, you got to feel yourself to play this hero really well. And Taiga's been playing awesome, so he's definitely ready to roll.
My brother played a lot, and his main gripe with the hero was like, look, I might be amazing at this hero, I might be well practiced, but eventually I'm going to miss a roll. And then, you know, I could be a hero that just hits their spells every time. And the exception of maybe Jerax, I think that there's always going to be a little bit of RNG on the hero.
You're forgetting DJ there. A little mean.
I don't get to watch SCA Dota as much as I should.
I mean, he's not playing Earth Spirit that much anymore.
Everybody misses rolls, even the best. They do miss. And I think what really separates the really good from the amazing Earth Spirits is the foresight. I think that's what Crit, for example, when I watch him play Earth Spirit, does the best, is that he waits that extra half second to a second for the certainty. It's like, a lot of the times when you play Dota, you want to do something as fast as possible because you're like, oh, if I get in a little bit earlier, I have a better fight. But a lot of the time, it's better to wait. Let the fight develop, get that really big counterplay, the 3-hero silence instead of the 1-hero silence, or rolling on the perfect hero, getting your magnetize off well. So again, like it for Taiga for that reason, the counterplay.
Totally agree, Sin. You want to hit your spells on as many heroes as possible, Sheep. Very important.
Thank you for this pro tip.
Somebody was watching the newbie stream during World Finals today. The Tiny, speaking of rocks, I'm a big fan against Rubik alone just because you have the burst potential to blow it up. And you know it's going to be Insania's hero as well. However, it's not really great against Timbersaw. You could argue it's terrible against Timbersaw. And it doesn't provide any sustained damage, and it doesn't help them with getting kited. It's just further initiation. It's just not an elegant hero.
It's likely a 4 in this draft, right? You don't play core Tiny into Timbersaw unless you have to, I think. So I'm not even considering this very much of a flex pick, because if they do end up putting it mid, it's going to lose probably to Boxy. If he goes mid on the Timber, Koikva also plays it. The Rubik is a 5. This is one of the few teams in the world that play Rubik 5 consistently. Team Liquid, Insania loves it. I'm not sure what he's seeing here. He's like, damn, I didn't get Oracle, so I want the...
I was gonna say Oracle, exactly that thing.
But if Oracle plays well, it's almost impossible to steal False Promise. It's long cast range. You're a support 5 Rubik. You might not have many items to position yourself. And here's a hero that we have been asking for, that we would like to see a little bit more, the Juggernaut.
It's the old school counter to Lifestealer, because even if you rage, you just pop the Omni Slash, open wounds, you spin, no big deal, and you also scale a bit better. It's one of the rare heroes that can actually go toe-to-toe with the Lifestealer because your ultimate is just so powerful. It's just, without a steroid, Jug has felt weak. I like the synergy with Timbersaw, so you have a lot of damage, and then the added sustain means that if you get a little bit of a lead, like you just kill any tower. You force defense, because a Healing Word Timber Jug, that will kill any towers undefended easily, and you can stay on map almost at all times. So now there's a lot of sustain on these 2 heroes, plus kill potential for the Earth Spirit, which is key.
Yeah, we have a Borania Storm Spirit that I am really looking forward to seeing. That is the hero that he has shined on the whole tournament. So, by the way, in terms of Juggernaut needing a buff, the Magnus is still in the pool. I just want to point that out there.
Not for long, I don't think.
You think he's gonna get banned?
Could.
You don't necessarily need to. It feels rough this game.
I mean, like Sin said, Koikva could play Timber, Boxy could play Mag, they could switch it up as well.
I think what I'd rather see from Liquid than buffing up the Jugger with Mag is actually doubling down on playing this kind of style that Kyle was just talking about, where you rally behind the Timber and you play around this, where you could get a mid hero for Koikva, like let's say for example the Death Prophet or Dragon Knight or something like this, where you take charge and take the towers, because the Mudgolems lineup, they have build up time here. They're not ready to go.
It's an amazing DP game right now. Like, this is a sick pick. I agree with that wholeheartedly. If you think back to like days of old, the Jug first rose to prominence as an early game carry. You'd get a drums up, you'd get a quick item. If you compare that to the Lifestealer's game impact around the 10-15 Minimark, Jug's going to heal your entire team, run down, click towers. Lifestealer's still going to be trying to just get an armlet up, actually become useful. You don't want to engage in these early team fights, so I 100% go with Sind here. Pick something that allows you to continue to add tempo. I think both DK and DP are just fine. They're also excellent because you then have further lockdown for the Storm, which is currently an issue.
One has sounds, the other has the Dragon Tail, and the DP can buy Eul, so she can actually set up her guaranteed sounds on Storm when he jumps. And the reason I think it's important to have a solution to Storm here is if you want that healing ward to stay in the fights, you need to be able to stop Storm when he jumps it, or he just takes it out for free every time. So
what do you want to see from Mudgolems then? Because, we spend a lot of time talking about what Liquid is doing with their draft, but, Mudgolems, they have their Storm. That's their comfort hero. They have their Lifestealer for Skeeter.
So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a 33 hero here, right? And the last pick, unless they do something crazy with a tiny 3 or something, I don't think that's happening.
Necro? Pango?
You gotta just mention
Enigma?
heroes.
Pango sounds okay. I don't know if I like Enigma here. They do actually ban the Magnus as well here, so not taking the risk. And there's a Doom ban. That's one hero that 33 has been playing. I actually didn't think they were going to go for the Doom just because they're playing into the Rubik. They're playing into so much sustain with the heals that maybe the Doom can't actually get the heroes killed in the fight.
Darkseer. They played that against Liquid already.
Ooh.
I just think you need some team fight.
To Jug Rubik.
Team fight and pace. Right?
I can see it.
5 seconds remaining.
Something that activates the Lifestealer would be nice too. That's why I really like the DS here. And you would really like somebody who can buy auras. You're playing with an Oracle on the team. You have a Storm. I want somebody that can just grab the Greaves, maybe the Vlads, something to keep the team alive.
Do we have enough against Timber, do you think?
No, but if you're addressing the Timber Saw in this draft, I think you're going to find yourself in a hole. I feel like the Storm is enough. Like you have Storm Lifestealer. It's not perfect, but
It's a different purple hero.
Void Spirit.
Not Darkseer, but Void Spirit.
Huh.
What is their lane? Is it Void Spirit tiny offlane?
That doesn't seem...
But it seems like that would be the case.
Void Spirit is decent against Jugger in lane just because you can always get away from Blade Fury. You use Dissimulate, you see which direction he's going, and you just go in the other one. Rubik 5 is relatively weak laner, so you're fine there.
Okay.
Oh!
I dig that. I dig that. That is like the anti-Oracle. This is a miserable hero to play against the Oracle. If you get Grave Chilled, you are dead. The birds can just run for you. So I'm sure that's an Insania brainchild against this first pick. However, it's not ideal. You're really tanky. Storm doesn't deal much damage because it takes him so long to burn through the cloak.
It's very good here, and it's the same logic as DP and Dragon Knight would have been, right? It's this idea of we group up with our Jugger Timbersaw timing, and then our mid hero has presence in this stage of the game.
Yeah.
This Liquid lineup looks so strong minute 20, and I'm concerned if there's a pipe on any of their heroes, whether Mudgolems actually have enough damage to kill them in a fight.
I 100% agree. And Roge also is open to them whenever they wish. So it's just that concept. I always go back to the Sam Sal truth. Whatever team needs fewer fights to win is more likely to win the game. Liquid, you need one team fight, one tower, and Roche. You have a game-winning advantage. Mudgolems, it's going to take a lot more than that.
It sounds very easy for Team Liquid for this one, but we know that they will not make it easy for themselves anyway, and definitely Mudgolems is not going to make it easy for them. So let's head over to our first game with Odie Pixel and Fogged.
What do you need to
What happened?
you?
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Mudgolems ready to go up against Team Liquid. Fogged. We've seen the lineups. We're getting some interesting finishing picks from both of the drafts. Mudgolems throwing in another Spirit. The Void Spirit's going to come out from 33 on the offlane. And then Team Liquid doing what they have liked to do quite a few times this tournament. Come in with these sort of very liquid last picks this time. It is the Visage. We did see this before, but I don't think it went too hot last time they tried it this tournament.
No, I remember it struggling quite a lot. I remember they just I think they got like danced around in lanes, and it was quite. I think it was quite for playing it, right? Or was it? It might have been. I remember we got to see at least a couple Visages where they just were too static and they couldn't actually move around the lanes. The movements was too much, and I think just like the panel was talking about, this fits exactly what Liquid, the style they want to do, is this early game just.
Prepare for battle.
that great wave clear. Like, looking at their lineup, who's going to be the one to just stop the tower pushes? Usually you have a hero that just parks himself, like a Timber Saw or something like that, or just constant nuke, like a Wind Ranger or Lina nukes to push out those waves. They don't have this. If Liquid is able to actually set up on these towers, it's going to be problematic for Mudgolem. So I think they're going to have to just work around just picking these heroes off and not let Liquid set up. Like we saw Na'Vi actually do to Mudgolems yesterday.
We'll see around these bounty runes. Mudgolems did try and come in with the smoke, but Liquid, they're aware of the movement and playing accordingly, making sure to contest the top one.
Maybe trying to get a first blood with this Tiny here, just setting up the tri-lane bottom. Always nice to get a start like that versus a Timbersaw. Just helps to carry quite a bit, especially versus someone like as good as Timbersaw like Boxy. I mean, after yesterday, you saw him just pop off so hard.
Yeah, I mean, well, yesterday it was a game where Boxy didn't die on the Timbersaw.
He did not.
I'm pretty sure it was one of those Timber performances. And I mean, in this game, what's sort of the threat level for Boxy? Is this a game where the Timbersaw again has the potential to start looking pretty invincible?
Yep, definitely. As soon as he gets hit online, I mean, as long as Tiny's not having like a super insane game, and as long as Storm and Voidspirit are having these crazy games, he's going to take over, and it really will feel like that, I do believe, for Boxy this game. It's going to be, I do want to see Milan making a lot of moves, though. I feel like he can look to punish. Like, as soon as the Storm Spirit hits level 3 and 4, Visage is a very slow hero. I want to see Tiny, I want to see Milan moving between mid and top a lot, trying to look for those toss-back plays.
Yeah, because it seems like the other two cores aren't going to be likely to be scared of the Tiny too much, right? You know, Boxy, as you say, he is going to be getting that hood almost certainly online quite early in the game, and Jug, Mickey, obviously having the Blade Fury, there's a way to react to the Tiny.
Milan not being too careful with his courier as he's pulling the wave, and Senya able to just take it out there. And we've seen Senya matching the boots of the Tiny. He's expecting them to play this wave like this up top. They're just going to be pulling and manipulating it so that the Void Spirit can get experience. Double melee lane, not usually very favorable versus that Jug. But it's a Void Spirit at least, so he'll get to Simulate probably at level 2, and he'll be able to get some decent survivability.
I see this as well. Tiger getting the really deep pull, and Boxy not wanting to miss out on it, so does actually TP over to make sure he's actually the one to benefit from this deep, pull of the creeps that Tiger pulled off.
Yeah, gonna be able to deny a full wave from the Lifestealer for sure here. Skeeter, let's see how he manipulates the wave, what he decides to do, because he does have double range creep hitting on him right now.
No, he's just going to hold it here, make sure that it meets the next one. I mean, the fact that he does have the double range creep should mean that he's going to be able to tear through a few of his own wave here, right? So he'll should be able to get a few denies away.
Yeah, at least. I think it looks like 2 creeps at least. We do see Taiga, he's walking in and blocking the pull constantly. He did just walk in and block it again. But there is the big pamp open for Mudgolems down bottom if they are looking for that.
Yeah, we'll see if they do try and cut that tree and get that pull through going. Yeah, so far, I mean, even with the ways the creep's been manipulated, Skeeter, his farm is looking very good.
They get the side pull off. Taiga, can he interrupt it? He actually cannot, so Fada gonna get that successfully. And Skeeter, yeah, he's gonna be able to get this good farm. Boxy, he's gonna start to catch up once he gets these levels. Mid, he's actually making the move.
He is. Piranha's gonna get wrapped around upon by the Rubik. He's trying to turn a burst down quite for Pops. The Fairy Fire won't save him. Good move from Insania, catches the Storm off guard.
Such a quick move too. I was saying that I wanted Milan to be the one that makes that move, but Insania seeing how easy of a lane it is for Mickey not being pressured at all, he can make that move. If he can do it in that quick motion there, that's a real nice start there for Koikman. This is exactly what Liquid...
They get the combo here, and they've done it. Oh, a lovely setup. 33, just laying down the Remnant. And that pull duration, obviously enough for Milan to come in with the combo. And obviously Tiny's combo, plus the pulse damage from the Void Spirit. That's enough to burst a Jug early on if you can get in before he has an opportunity to Blade Fury.
687 magic damage. Literally just perfect. Yeah, the way they comboed it.
And Mickey's got to be, I mean, I think he's definitely going to be very scared about any Remnants to start flying out now. Remnant catches him and they will combo him from 100 to 0.
I actually cannot believe that they're able to do that. Milan just hitting the 3 just before they go for it there. Just having that literal perfect combo with the avalanche triple damage.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Again, we see Insania kind of playing around mid. Aggressive glyph coming out from Liquid. They're trying to trip up warning here.
It's going to be bottom. Tiger's going to be able to come in and grab that. Might actually be able to come in onto the mid lane. Baranya gonna get stunned.
Gonna kick back
into Quoigfer, but Milan is around. Milan's gonna start running down Tiger. He's in with the avalanche. Toss back underneath the tower into the burst of Baranya. They'll get the kill.
Insania. Oh, he tried to come in. Now Insania.
Now he might be in trouble here, Milan. He's closing in. He'll have the combo in a bit.
He's got the mango. He's taunting him. He knows.
So the plan is here from Insania. He's trying to juke. And Tiger is TPing over to the tier 1. See if he can help out in time. He can't get the combo enough here. Milan claims another time. Bottom lane. I mean, everywhere. Mid lane, Baranya goes down. And bottom lane, Boxy. He just killed the Lifestealer.
Wait, what?
Just everything kicked off then. Baranya dies mid, and Skeeter, he dies bottom to Boxy.
Skeeter just not playing careful when Fado walks away from him for a second. Both of these safe laners going down in lanes you probably wouldn't expect them to. Just not playing careful enough, Skeeter.
That's a huge kill for Boxy on the solo. I mean, obviously the mid one as well, pretty big, taking out Baranya, slowing down the storm.
Definitely not where Mudgolems want to have happening. As we mentioned, Liquid in this game, if they get the ball rolling, their lineup is going to start to group up. Mudgolems can't be giving away these type of kills. Mudgolems, they are scouting out these stacks, as we do know Liquid always does set up. They're trying to take them away, but a lot of Liquid members rotating. The birds are online too for Quoigfer.
Milan's in trouble there. Insania, he's going to be blocking him off. And the burst to get the damage done. And get the kill. Quoigfer able to sweep across. Make sure that Mudgolems don't really get too much out of that stack, and they lose a tiny for their attempts as well.
No, and Taiga is just stalking at this Storm Spirit, and Fada is trying to just maximize. He's trying to get this experience mid, but Skeeter is actually really getting pressured from Boxy. This Orb of Venom, he's just hitting him, getting the Whirling Death on him, and then Skeeter gets pushed away.
Yeah, not much Skeeter can do sort of aggressively back to the Timber. You know, you're not going to turn and punch back into Boxy with the 3 points into reactive armor. Yeah, just constant pressure from Boxy.
He's getting his Soul Ring right now too, and he's actually got the 6. So Skeeter, he's gonna get constantly spammed here in this lane. This is looking really good here for these 3 lanes for Liquid. The cores are all getting off to the perfect start for their lineup.
I mean, do you want to, if you're Mudgolem, sending one down to help Skeeter, or you should be able to rely on the fact that Skeeter shouldn't really die here. I mean, he might be pressured, but he should never really die as the Lifestealer, even though he
should never really die. They can counter gank once Boxy overcommits, but right now they're just very underleveled. Boran is only level 5. He still hasn't hit the 6. He's really struggling in this mid lane because of Taiga's pressure. Yeah, but they can't actually counter gank the bottom lane very nicely because of that.
We said already, this Timbersaw is going to be very tough to take down at most moments of the game.
The Visage, if he's grouped up with his team too, it's a very similar kind of concept where he's going to be very difficult for them to bring down. It's if he's isolated, that's where they can start to pick him off. And that is where Mudgolems, their draft really does shine, right? They have the Infest Lifestealer, they have the Void Spirit, they have the Tiny, they have all these pick-off heroes. Just Liquid are getting off to a very good start here after this lane, and they're going to start to look to group up here after they get these stacks and find all these moves to slow down Mudgolems a lot. And look at Taiga, immediately smokes up, looking for another aggressive move. The ward is down.
Dire's courier has been killed.
He's just following the storm. And during the downtime, Insania, doing typical Insania stuff, starts getting the double stacks going. Anytime there is that little downtime, Liquid's always happy.
Milan. Quoigfer's going to be able to find him, popping the drums to chase him down. Insania is going to be in with that extra bit of lockdown. Milan will turn, get a bit of the combo off onto Quoigfer. Milan still falls, but Boranya's able to get in with the backup. They take down Quoigfer in return, and now they can look over towards Insania as well. Quoigfer still has the birds up to help out, and so tries his best to hold them back, but not able to do so before Insania also gets burst. Mickey's trying to run down Baranya. He's got a little bit of mana left, so he can break over the wall and get just far enough away from Mickey to keep himself alive. So Baranya will live.
Nice move there from Mudgolems, actually taking out the Visage, and those are those situations when Visage, if he starts moving away from lanes, that's where Mudgolems, like we said, they can start to shine if they find these little pickoffs. They're very good at the small skirmishes. They're very good at mobility, Storm and Void Spirit.
Bottom lane, Boxy's now managed to bully Skeeter off this side of the map. He's TP'd up to the top lane. So this will allow Boxy to finish off this tier 1 tower. Not really many other heroes that Mudgolems can throw down here to actually stop this Timber's pressure right now.
Yep, he's going to get his hood at a very decent time if he would like to go down that route.
Mid. Branya was thinking about getting aggressive onto Tiger, but as soon as the birds show, he'll
Radiant's
back off.
bottom tower is under attack.
Liquid getting time to just be able to hit these jungle creeps, get these stacks finished up. And yeah, bottom tower is pretty much going to go down. Well, on the reversal, mudgolems, they can't pressure towers the same way Liquid can. But 33, he's looking to go for kills here with this urn early picked up.
It's pretty deep. I mean, Mickey,
Very deep.
he's just going to run up to him and dissimulate to the side. Quoifer trying to have the familiars in position. 33's got to astral step away. And this it seems like it's not going to be an easy game for 33. I mean, we saw early in the lane getting those nice little kills, bit of action, but in terms of the cores that 33 is going to look to burst, they don't feel too burstable.
No, definitely not. They're, like I said, they're gonna. It's really gonna be a lot about that pick-off game. They do have to keep slowing down Liquid a bit, though, trying to contest these stacks and walking in and just slowing them up. Because I'm just seeing Liquid getting away with too much right now. Like they're doing typical Liquid, where they've done great in their lanes this time, and then they have all these stacks just to back up and farm at a faster rate with. And this is all about this early game timing here for Liquid, where they're gonna group up. They're going to look to just beat down these towers. I mean, Boxy's already doing it by himself.
Yeah, he takes the bottom tower and heads up top. We didn't see any answer from mudgolems to his pressure down on the bottom lane. Probably not going to see it up on this top lane either. Boxy's just going to have all the space in the world to just get these really early items and become an incredibly hard target for them to deal with.
They got to bring the numbers if they want to take him out. And I think they have to start slowing him down. I think they're going to just have to bring like 3-4 heroes to just kill Boxy. Otherwise, they're just going to start losing these towers, and Liquid just free farming during all this pressure that Boxy's applying. So they start rotating 4 up top. Liquid sees it with the ward. Boxy's able to back away.
Oh, see, Branya is queuing up the straight Bloodstone this game. I mean, I think he knows that with the way things are, the Orchid rush is just not going to be quite as effective, especially with Mickey getting this space to farm, and he's going to have the Manta done at a pace that would have been equal to the Orchid that Boron would be able to pick up.
Yeah, interesting this game. I guess just he is playing versus some very tanky cores that he just probably can't take out. So bottom, he tries to go aggressive on Taiga, but Taiga, he just turns immediately.
Damn, Branya's going to take quite a bit of damage. Off the back of that, has to step right back. Top lane, I mean, they are bringing in a lot of heroes to look to Boxy. I still don't know if they're going to be able to burst him. This is a very hard kill for them to get.
Under the tower especially, that's definitely too hard.
Skeeter's popping the rage, and he's going to run. He has to run. The telekinesis is going to be up. Tiger off the mark with a stun, but does still hit the silence. They'll get the avalanche down onto Tiger. Mickey TPing him with the healing ward. Tiger rolling away. 33's got Skeeter inside him. He's just got to take him out of here. They can't fight in this area, mudgolems, with Liquid turning up like this.
No, they tried to force it super hard. Koikfa immediately starts pushing mid. Baranya's getting good space down bottom, at least, to get some farm there, but yeah, I mean, pressuring Boxy is definitely looking to be quite a tough task. And he's still saving to show what item he is going to be going for. If it's going to be something like the Lotus Rush, or if he is going to go for his own hood. Right now, it's not looking like he is going to finish that hood, looking for a bigger item. Yeah, he's queuing up the mech for his team. So those auras they're going to be really impactful. Mech, pipe, Koikfa's going for the pipe. That's going to damage mudgolems a lot. As we said, they're already going to have damage issues.
Yeah, when they have pipe and greaves, I don't know how mudgolems heroes are going to kill these. The cores of Liquid. It does feel like one of those games that Liquid's managed to draft it in a way where they have these cores that just have the potential to be unkillable.
Yeah, and they're free farming, and the thing is that they do scale very hard. Like the panel was talking about, this Juggernaut, he does scale very well versus the Lifestealer. Sure, they have to be a little worried because the Storm Spirit also scales and that Void Spirit, but they don't want it to even get to really that point. They probably want to close this game within the next 15-ish minutes on the side of Liquid, unless they just get such a crazy advantage, which they really are starting to build up.
I think, I mean, you can sort of see it and feel it from mudgolems. They're wandering around the map, and it just feels like there's very little moves they can make. They're going to smoke up the 3 of them. See what they can find.
Try to take advantage of the fact that Liquid just split up all around the map. They might be able to find some heroes here.
Tiger could be an easy one if they could get on top of him, but he's out and away with the roll. He's not an easy one. They can't get on top of him. Maybe now they continue to sweep in. He's out with the roll, and yeah, they can't get him. They cannot get him here.
And now the Oracle's actually in a tough position right in front of Koifa.
He's got to pop the false promise on himself here, Father.
Radiant's top
The rest of
tower
them by
is
his
under
side.
attack.
Actually coming in to give him that infest heal to make sure that he doesn't lose any HP during that false promise.
But look at Liquid. Boxy immediately starts hitting top tower. The Jug doesn't care because he's farming a triple ancient stack while they're trying to pressure. You can fear mudgolems trying to force some type of issue here, but Liquid reading it perfectly. Boxy immediately when they start pushing a tower, he goes and parks himself there to defend it so they can't apply pressure. This is just fantastic coordination coming out from Liquid, and they're starting to get this timing all together here. The pipe is about to be finished and the mech is done.
And we see this build for 33. It's something that some Void Spirits are now starting to experiment with. Are you a fan of this?
Dire's top tower is under
Oh,
attack.
I actually have not gotten to see this.
So the idea is that, I'm pretty sure at least, when you use the Astral Step, it doesn't proc the Echo, so you can Astral in, hit them with the Echo slow, and that gives you a very solid setup to land the Remnant. And obviously the stats are decent. So that's sort of the idea. Some Void Spirits are starting to use it. It's still not most of them. I don't think this is going to become the go-to build anytime soon, but it's something new that some players like to build on Void Spirit.
Sounds very 33-esque.
Yeah.
But items are online. Now everything is there for Liquid. They've got the mech, they've got the pipe, and yeah, I'm really not too sure what mudgolems is going to be able to do to actually just fight them. I think they have to just split the map up and hope that Liquid overextends to pick off some of these heroes, because it feels like it's going to be tough for them to kill them with all this sustain.
Yeah, it's like, how does Boxy die? I mean, when he has Greaves, it's just hard to you sort of do the maths. You add up all the outgoing numbers from mudgolems, and it doesn't add up to 1800 HP when you take into account the heals, the magic resist,
Radiant structures
the armor.
are fortified.
No, and they're applying this pressure. There's a blink on Milan. Let's see if he can try to get some tossbacks and stuff. Maybe if they can get this positioning out of the way, but not when Liquid is invading this hard. You can see how strong they know they are at this moment. And mudgolems, they just have to go for some trades. Hit this mid tower.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Gonna have to accept the fact that they're gonna lose control of their jungle and their outpost here.
Radiant's
16 minutes in, a tier 2 taken by Liquid. 3k up. Kills are still pretty low, but I think Liquid aren't too fussed about that. It fits with the way they want to play this game.
Yeah, this isn't a kills game for Liquid. This is a kills game for mudgolems, where they have to start wreaking some havoc. Liquid just has to keep moving around together as this unit. Don't let Visage, don't let Koifa ever get caught off in the rivers by himself. And yeah, the plan is working so far. Oxy's the only one who's really been showing himself in those dangerous, precarious positions, and like you said, there's no way that they can punish him.
They can't kill him. He's gonna have Greaves in a few hundred gold. I think he could probably just walk down mid and sit under tier 4s. They probably wouldn't still kill
is
him.
under attack.
He is very, very tanky. And just Mickey, with all this space that he's been getting, he's becoming very, very farmed. We've seen Mickey do this before, yeah. Get sort of the first essential item that he needs to make sure that he doesn't die. Obviously, it does help with farming as well, the movement, and allows him to get involved safely, and then just goes back for the Battle Fury, because he knows that the rest of the team is just holding this game in a position now where, hey, if Liquid aren't ever able to push this advantage to a win, Mickey's going to be able to carry in the late game.
Exactly. That's why they go for this always like this win condition, it feels like, on Liquid a lot of time, for Mickey in particular. When he plays this Morphling, this Jug in particular, since we've seen it a couple of times this tournament with this exact build. Just in case things goes right.
Mudgolem still just looking for something to do. Tiger grabs the haste and they do get the combo. Oh, but the haste might just save him. He's running out. Get on top of him. They will finish him off. They will manage to kill someone here. They get Tiger. It's something. It's something after quite a bit of a dry spell.
Yeah, I mean, they finally find Liquid making a mistake. Liquid getting out of position for the first time in what's felt like 10 minutes. As right now we see Boxy, they're very aware of the positioning of mudgolems. Koifa continue to play aggressive bottom because they have this control, this outpost here. Feels very confident to play down here. And he's queuing up the next aura items.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is the build that Koifa likes to go for when the game's going good. And I think this is pretty much always the plan when he picks Visage. Pipe into AC.
Cover all your bases, cup your team out as maximum as possible.
And how are things looking for the cause of mudgolems right now? Piranha, he's very close to having the Bloodstone done. But of course, definitely feels like a game where that alone isn't really going to change too much about the Storm's gameplay. It's sort of going to be the item after that.
Yeah, I mean, they're still farming at a decent rate. It's just, it's what they're up against. It's this damage mitigation lineup that Liquid's drafted, this heavy push lineup to an objective-taking lineup. Yeah, mudgolems. We're going to have to see how they ever are going to be able to actually contest it when it is a full 5v5. It does feel like that 5v5 is going to feel very difficult unless they can just pop heroes with this Infest, with this Storm Spirit. And also just make sure that they can take out the Healing Ward. I think that's another reason why he's going for this like weird, not like weird Bloodstone build, but going for this build first. Because then he can just zip in, not be too at risk of dying instantly while he kills that Healing Ward and be able to zip out. And it works really well with Oracle.
I'll see in the jungle. Liquid, they're going to get across. They're not going to be able to find it back.
Nicely done by Milan.
Yeah, Tiny able to cover it. Ensure that they do still maintain one of the outposts at that 20-minute mark. Mudgolems.
Ooh, Arcane Rune top. At the same time, I believe that the Bloodstone is being delivered.
Let's see if they can do anything now, Milan. It's got Skeeter in it. Looking for some sort of setup, but as we've seen so far, Liquid not really allowing any opportunities where the easier to kill targets are alone. C33 continuing on this, you know, the 33-esque build, the Echo Saber into Deso. And he has got it done. So, I mean, 33 does continue to be very farmed on the Void Spirit this game. This is some big items coming out at some very good times.
They're definitely going to scale as well. Mickey's got that Battle Fury finished now. They will take out one of the birds. Quake was just going to resummon. And Liquid does still have to be careful to just sit behind certain heroes. At least sit behind Koikfa. He's probably the only one that can die if they do commit onto him. Yeah. Boxy still feels pretty invulnerable. So does Mickey for the most part.
Mickey, with that Battle Fury done, is now going to continue to just push the difference between him and anyone else in this game. He's going to be farming at a pace they can't keep up with. Mudgolems there. They do see an opportunity to head into the pit. And this is a nice move because, as we've seen, there's not really much more they can do on the map right now. Going for this Roshan with the Deso done on 33, helping them that little bit extra. They're doing it at a very good pace. They're going to be able to take this down without Liquid doing anything about it. So Aegis onto Boranya.
This was a real smart move here, and this is all gonna all hit at the same timing. Bloodstone's done. There's an Arcane Rune in the bottle. He's infested. This could be a big hit that Liquid might get caught off guard by. They have to be very aware and just sit behind these heroes. Have Boxy or Mickey in the front line there. They have to be just protecting Koikfa. Not let Koikfa just get fully exploded by this Lifestealer, Storm Spirit, and crazy initiation that Mudgolems does have.
For Boranya right now, which heroes, if he gets the vision, do you think he's going to go straight for? Like, who can this Storm commit on and sort of guarantee that him and Skeeter are going to be able to kill on the initiation?
I mean, just it's usually always just going to be getting those supports in the back lines. The Rubik doesn't really have much of a counterplay, especially when Lifestealer gets on top of him. Open Wounds Rage, you're dead almost instantly. So that's a good one to always pick off of the fight. It's really going to be dependent the positioning though. If Koikfa's too far from his team, they're going to go on Koikfa. Yeah,
you think they can afford to commit on him? Like they will.
If he's too far.
Yeah. See, actually quite for changing up the items, because as I say, you know, he did have the AC queued up, and it is what he usually likes to get on the Visage when the game is good. But what do you think's sort of making him feel that he does need the BKB? Is it because he's realizing, as you're saying, that he is going to be the prime target that Mudgolems are going to try and look to kill to break themselves back into the game and into the lead?
I think it is that. I think it does look like he can be a bit fragile because of how much magic damage and how much control that Mudgolems does have. Like, there really is just so many disables that they have between, you know, the Void Spirit, Storm Spirit, Tiny. They can just keep the Visage in a position and just burst him down. If he has BKB, if he's able to get it between the instances, he survives. He's able to turn the fight completely, so this is actually probably a better choice for him than the AC.
Sure.
Especially versus now the Aegis, where, you know, Mudgolems, they're going to try to make a risky play.
Yep. I'll see what sort of opportunities Boranya can find on his Raider. Liquid. Still lots of safe spaces to play in, though. Still with having their tier 1 still standing here 22 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Boxy's... I was like seeing Boxy's heat map. Just when certain creep waves are pushing in, Boxy's just the one to eat the scary creep wave every single time. Just that deterrent from them getting any extra map control.
This farm on Mickey is just continuing to look very scary. And just the levels as well. He's basically level 18. Both cores on mudgolems still sitting at level 14. So 22 minutes in already, a 4-level difference.
Yeah, and he switched. He had the Basher initially queued up. I think he wanted the control versus the Storm, but then he thinks, you know what? No, life versus Lifestealer and versus Oracle. The Scotty actually makes quite a bit of sense if he does commit for that one, and he has committed now. That slow versus the Rage, the preventing of the healing during the Oracle ult as well.
Yeah,
it definitely shows benefits.
It's incredibly strong this game, and also just nice even against the Storm. You know, sometimes Baranya's relying on that Bloodstone heal to keep himself alive, and suddenly he's not going to get quite as much of a benefit from it if he's been hit by the Jug.
Oh, they're getting to hit the mid tower. Boxy, he's in the area though. He doesn't want them to hit. That's his tower. Jump though.
He's going to look to jump in on Insane. As you said, go for the easy one first. They won't
He's gonna
get it. Oh, he's able to jump into the bird. The silence is out. Insania's going to live. He's able to step back to safety. Branya's still committing, trying to find Insania. Will get the kill. They also do get quite far off to the side. On the back of it, Mickey looking for Fada, but Fada keeps himself alive with the false promise. Branya, he's going to look for Insania a second time, and then Insania is going to be a dieback. They lose the Rubik twice here, Liquid. Combo from Milan. It's on the boxing and taking down the Timbersaw. There's a big Omni Slash coming in though from Mickey as he kills off the two of them. Branya and Skeeter still kind of good to fight here, but they will back off. I mean, mudgolems, they certainly gave a pretty decent punch there into Liquid, killing off the three of them, including Insania, dying the twice, and getting the big one too, actually able to take down Boxy in the midst of it all.
Such an explosive amount of damage. I believe the Veil was just finished before this fight, because it just made all this magic damage that they have just so much more impactful. And that was that big Aegis fight. Able to actually commit into the backlines twice onto poor Insania, even though he saves himself initially.
That was you know, as you said, this is exactly what mudgolems needed to get done with that Aegis, and again, just goes back to how brilliant of a call it was from them to go for Roshan at a point where Liquid probably did feel just a little too comfortable with the state of the game. They would have known that they were getting further and further ahead, and mudgolems were struggling to make moves, and Liquid, they didn't expect the Rosh, and mudgolems able to get a lot done with that Aegis use.
Get some nice Bloodstone charges too. The two big heroes are the ones that survive as well for mudgolems, which is the biggest part there for them. Some nice experience that they did need. Mickey still being the victor up to level 20. Has that Scotty finished as well too, so he still has that item advantage versus the Lifestealer.
Yeah, I mean, this is the definite big threat still standing here from Liquid, regardless of how any of these fights go. This Jug, as we have seen him countless times with these Liquid performances, you know, these games where Mickey, he's just ahead of everybody else. Liquid happy to lose their other cores as long as Mickey doesn't die. He's the one to clean up and make the most of the space. And so far this game, he certainly is. Yeah, about 5k ahead of Skeeter's farm right now, and still 4 levels advantage on the Jug.
And now Quakefoot does have his BKB. Didn't have it for the last fight. They have so many different forms of magic damage and control. This is going to help a lot for him. They are getting to a pretty good point of scaling though for mudgolems. This tri-core is starting to scale because of the way that they've built too. 33 going for this different style build with his Echo Saber Deso.
Yeah, it's actually working really nicely this game. From 33, I think if he had gone for sort of the more standard ags, he would not be able to have the actual scaling and impact that he is actually able to turn up these fights with. It's a lot amount of physical damage, but do catch the Tiny alone. Over in the mid though, they've got the grab on a Boxy, and again, they're going to be able to take him down. Boxy will fall. The ult coming out to Boranya. He's got the Bloodstone heal as well as the False Promise, but he's out of mana. Fada goes down, and indeed Boranya, he's going to pop off if False Promise comes to an end. Scotty limiting the heals that he's receiving, and even without that, the damage coming out from Mickey, too much for Boranya to deal with. As things are back to business for Liquid, they're able to express their dominance and their lead that they have built up, and how powerful Mickey is right now. They take the team fight. They're going to just run down mid, knowing very well that Mickey is not going to be threatened by much the mudgolems can come to this defense with.
And Boxy, I mean, that's his job, right? Eat those spells, die for Mickey to come in and clean up. So they do lose him, but either way, Liquid very happy about that. They can finally get aggressive on this side. New neutral items available. See which ones they get.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see where sort of 33 goes after this Echo Saber Deso, because this physical damage it's absolutely making all the difference when it comes to being able to kill Boxy. Like, without this build, they don't kill the Timbersaw. So
you had to get the defensive Yules just because the silences, you know, the Earth Spirit's starting to get those levels built up. The silence is pretty frustrating for him, so he did have to get that. But yeah, I'm also curious to see what he does go for here. It's very different. I haven't seen this type of build before on a Void Spirit.
We'll see here, Tiger, he's able to get the roll, and he gets the silence in onto two of them, and then getting pulled back by the Stolen Remnant. Over to the side, they found Fighter, they isolate the Oracle and take him down. BKB popped by Quakefor, the Skeeter, he's chasing, the bash is in, Quakefor will fall. But now Skeeter, he's without a rage, Liquid turn onto him, roll in with Tiger's stun and silence. The Skeeter falls for it. I mean, and again, we're seeing, you know, Mudgolems, they are able to focus and take down one of the cores, but still just the overall difference in progression and the fact that Liquid's heroes are an item ahead. I mean, in Mickey's case, he's sort of 2 items ahead of the carries of Mudgolems. It's still very hard for them to ever really come out on top overall. Liquid, they just clean up, even with one of them dying at the beginning.
And Mudgolems, they're slipping up a bit too here with these mistakes. They didn't have everybody in there for that invasive play either. Liquid, they just outnumbered them because it's right next to their side of the map. Storm wasn't anywhere near.
Radiant's middle barracks.
Yeah, they're having a tough time going for these invasive plays versus Liquid versus this insanely farmed Jug. And I mean, that was without Omni Slash. Omni Slash is back up. He's about to have Butterfly finish too. Milan.
I mean, how do they beat this Jug? How do they do it? They're going to trap Piranha. He's rolled straight in. Oh my goodness, he's dead. Oh, he rolls in.
He didn't use the BKB. He just got lifted. He just spent the gold for it.
And he didn't have the TP either, right? Did he try and do the TP?
Radiant's bottom tower.
No, I think he just TP. Yeah, not quite sure what the plan was there from him.
Jump.
They got Mickey. They got Mickey. Can they get Boxy as well? They're turning over to him. They're going to get Boxy too by the looks of it. With these bashes, they get Boxy too. Jump over as well. Look at the Tiger. They're able to trip him up on the attempt to roll out Yule Scepter into the Remnant. They're going to have the damage to take down another. It doesn't matter. The Piranha froze his life away. That was all part of the plan. A very weird, twisted plan of Piranha go in and feed. It works out. Liquid feel confident to stick around, and they actually find the window to somehow burst Mickey, this 2600 HP Jug. They were able to kill him, Fog.
The amount of damage that 33 is able to do, they throw the veil out, and just it's all this pop damage that he's doing. Everything explodes at the same time. He's controlled during all of it, and it's 3,000 damage instantly during a toss combo because of all this.
No, this is excellent stuff from the voice. But any other offlane hero with any other build, I don't think would be having the impact he is right now. You know, you can't understate just how much of a difference it is just having a Desolator on your side. You know, especially when you have a hero like the Lifestealer just being able to lock down onto a target and take them out. It's making all the difference, and it's absolutely keeping Mudgolems with a very good chance in this game. They get the catch straight in.
They're catching Liquid off guard when they're not fully respawned. Liquid did peek out there to try to get some information, but picked off, and now a BKB charge for Quakefor used. Mudgolems punching back strong here.
Nice, a big hit.
Fest plays.
Dire's structures.
And just going to show that Mickey, as farmed as he isn't actually untouchable. They can kill this Jug, despite him being multiple items ahead of any of their own.
Tower has fallen.
Yeah, they just have to be more aware of it. I just think that it hit them completely off guard. It just was not something they expected at all. They have to be able to get the glimmers, all these protective items onto him. And now, I mean, Roche does respawn.
I feel like
they have to contest this.
They can't let Mudgolems get this.
Whoa.
Piranha
just spent all his mana and zipped out.
What was he zipping for?
He almost died for it, though. He zipped right in front of them with 0 mana.
Why did he zip over to the mid lane? What was he trying to do? He's got to reset, go back to base, and that will mean that they can't sort of safely commit for the Roche anymore. Despite nearly bringing it down to half HP, they've got to wait for Piranha to refuel and walk his way back out of it.
They still have this ward on the high ground though, Mudgolems. They see everything.
33. It's going to charge in. They're looking for Mickey. This time Mickey's able to get the Blade Fury out. Telekinesis up onto Milan. Milan's going to fall. False promise, keeping 33 safe. He's going to be able to jump down from the high ground in a little bit. He's out of there. He'll back off. The chase is going to be on though from Liquid. Roll forward. They're on to Fada. Buyback comes out from Milan. Fada won't be able to save himself though. Also has buyback available if they do want to commit and stop Liquid from getting the Roche themselves. As Liquid, they're into the pit now.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Mudgolems, they'll still want to contest this.
The Infest is ready again, and the Aghanim's is done also. 33 full committed on the purchase.
And that AoE silence could certainly catch Liquid off guard. See if they can time it though. As Liquid, they're getting, he's going to drop with the jump in. They get the kill, but Mickey is able to pick up the Aegis. Instantly with the silence down onto 33, he'll fall. Skeeter's been left in the pits. A big Omni Slash from Mickey cuts down the Life Stealer. A solid attempt there from 33 to make the steal happen. But Mickey just a little too fast on his fingers, picking up the Aegis before Mudgolems could do so, despite Mudgolems being the ones to actually find that last hit on Roche. That's not what they're after there. They're still losing the Aegis to Jug. They're pretty much the worst situation for Mudgolems.
Yeah, just Mickey too quick with his fingers there, gets the Omni Slash, and they actually ditch Skeeter pretty hard in the pit there. He had the cheese, but wasn't able to get it off. He has buyback. He might be forced to use it. They're committing for the base.
They're looking to try and end this now, Liquid. Fortification will come up. See how much hesitation that will give them. They want to at least, force Skeeter to pop that buyback. But 33 himself, after the Axe purchase, not having the money to come back in. He's out for 30. They're going to look to zip in. Look at the back ones. Brandy's going to go on to Insania. Jump out for the life silence to take him down straight away. Milan's in with a big avalanche. Insania, he's able to get out the glimmer. False promise. Choose on Baranya to keep him alive. Telekinesis from Insania stops Baranya from being able to chase down the Rubik. The stone control's there from Tiger. Baranya has been knocked down. He's still trying to finish this Rubik, but Baranya's so low. He's ticking down to the Spirit Vessel, tries for the TP out, but Foxy's in with the Timber Chain, takes him out. 4 dead. A buyback will come out from Baranya. He's desperately trying to hold this, but the ancient is falling. Tiger and Mickey just looking to close it. 33 back in action, jumps in with the silence, catches Quaker. Baranya will be able to find it. They've got fortification. It's keeping the ancient alive. Baranya is getting low. They've got the silence onto him. Mickey and Tiger trying to ignore it. They're looking to end it, and they'll be able to do so. Liquid will close up game 1.
With a great style. They really did tick all the boxes in this game. It did feel like they knew how to exercise this early game and just have Boxy in all the risky positions, so he can't really die. They have to commit too much to kill him. They also had a great read the whole time of when Mudgolems was looking to set up around the map. That was very impressive from Liquid, the way they constricted the map, and just it felt like Mudgolems had this pressure on them the whole game that they had to try to slow down Mickey because of how farmed he was getting.
They did. And you could feel that pressure that was on Mudgolems. Still able to come in with some solid moves whilst behind and doing things that it didn't look like they would be able to do so, but definitely with the drafts in mind, a much harder game for Mudgolems to pull together.
Juggernaut!